First, I'll clarify that the ASCII isn't arguing for any increase in military power that isn't already happening with Japan's current self-defense military. Japan already has the sufficient resources to convert and develop an offensive brand. This debate is just a matter of how much more Japan can achieve once their military is officially classified as offensive compared to what they have currently. Our sole contention is Indo-Pacific stability. Subpoint A is China's probing. Mitchell in 16 writes that China's, quote, goal is not just to assert hegemony over their neighborhoods, but to rearrange the global security order as we have known it since the end of the Second World War. The superpower uses a strategy of probing against the US. Rather than risking direct war, they have employed low-intensity crises to test US power in regions. Mitchell notes that the only reason China shows continuous aggression is because they don't see a reaction from the US or allies, essentially providing them with a green light on their conquest for hegemony. The US constant decline of credibility only allows China to push further with aggression. After Biden was elected, Malley in 21 articulates how the US withdrawal from Afghanistan shreds its credibility even further on an international level. The US broke their agreement with the Afghans, a similar promise of protection the US made with the rest of their allies. China's aggression includes disputes along the line of actual control with India, conflicts with Japan over the Senkaku Islands, and Great Wall strategies all over the Indo-Pacific. Great Wall strategy includes laser blinding satellites, creating artificial islands to extend their economic exclusive zones, and violating other countries' airspace with gray zone flights. These are all impaired and have happened already. As long as China didn't see a reaction, Chinese coercion will only worsen, leading to widespread panic amongst countries. Threatened countries don't have the edge to deter China, since neither their economy, military, nor tactical knowledge is well developed enough. This is when there's a risk of countries sending China bold statements of attempted deterrence while only provoking Beijing further. For example, when Australia angered China, APB News Bureau 22 explains how Australia faced hard taxes on critical exports from China. China is gradually gaining more and more power in the region while pushing US allies around. Subpoint B is deterrence. Having a Japanese defensive military is the only possible solvency to Chinese aggression. Japan has an extremely powerful military. Yamaguchi 21 ranked the Japanese military 5th globally. In fact, Japan has a military budget of $53.8 billion and boasts an impressive 142 stealth jets behind only the US. Japan has already begun to deconstruct Article 9, just not officially identifying it as being offensive. Walton in 20 argued that the previous Prime Minister Abe has been extremely obvious and open with his long-term plan to revise the law, starting off with a bold statement on how Article 9 limits Japan's rights, then proceeding to develop their quote-unquote defensive military. The core difference between Japan having an offensive military versus a defensive one lies in Japan's ability to extend its power to allies, creating a much greater deterrence effect. Suzuki in 20 articulates that Japan is the only one that can become a leader in the foundation of stability in the Indo-Pacific region for 2 reasons. First, they have a multi-layered relationships, economic and security-wise, with the countries of Southeast Asia and the US. Second, they have a unique geographic advantage against China, providing valuable advantages in a war. Japan is part of a consultative group with the Association of Southeast Nations, also known as ASEAN. Suzuki furthered how when they're allowed an offensive military, they are able to aid their allies in the Indo-Pacific through security cooperation agreements that they would now be able to make through ASEAN. Japan has empirically deterred when they participated in military exercises with Taiwan, which only temporarily deterred China from gray zone flights, but this isn't sufficient. Japan needs a more concrete and permanent show of power in order to truly stop Chinese aggression. This collective strategy of all US allies banding together creates a deterrence factor 10 times greater than anything Japan can achieve with its defensive military. Only then can China be deterred and stop recognizing US allies as pushovers and cede their conquest to hegemony. Therefore, we affirm.